Moses' leadership during times of crisis serves as a profound example of navigating complex situations with resilience and foresight. At its core, this concept revolves around the ability to make sound decisions, guide a community, and maintain faith under pressure. Moses, a pivotal figure in biblical history, led the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage, steering them through prolonged adversity with a blend of divine guidance and human leadership. The significance of Moses' leadership in crisis cannot be overstated. It underscores the timeless value of decisive action and moral conviction in guiding communities through turmoil. Moses' ability to balance immediate needs with long-term goals exemplifies how leaders can inspire collective resilience. This is pertinent not only in religious studies but also in contemporary contexts of leadership, where crisis management is critical to success. One notable example is when Moses parted the Red Sea, a defining moment that required unwavering faith and decisive command. Faced with the Egyptian army on one side and the sea on the other, Moses' leadership was instrumental in facilitating the Israelites' escape. In modern terms, this parallels situations where leaders must make swift and bold decisions to guide their teams through high-stakes environments. Another example is Moses receiving the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. This event emphasizes the importance of establishing a moral and ethical framework during crises, fostering a sense of community and shared values. In today's corporate or political arenas, this is akin to leaders who uphold ethical standards to ensure integrity and trust during turbulent times. Support for the effectiveness of Moses' leadership approach comes from various religious and historical scholars who regard his actions as foundational to understanding strong leadership. However, challenges arise in interpreting these ancient narratives for contemporary application. Critics might argue that relying on divine interventions in biblical accounts makes it difficult to extract practical strategies for secular environments. Others might point out the occasional authoritarian nature of Moses' decisions, sparking debates on leadership styles that value consensus over command. Moses' leadership in crisis connects deeply with themes of faith, perseverance, and ethical governance. His story influences not only religious teachings, but also modern leadership theories that emphasize the importance of guiding institutions and communities through crises with a balanced and principled approach. Understanding Moses' strategies and their implications can provide valuable insights for today's leaders seeking to navigate their own challenges with wisdom and integrity. The historical context of Moses' decisions refers to the specific circumstances and societal conditions during which Moses made crucial decisions as a leader. Understanding this context is vital to appreciate Moses' leadership and decision-making during times of crisis, as it highlights the challenges he faced, the values he upheld, and the social, political, and religious intricacies that influenced his actions. Moses' decisions were made during a time when the Israelites were transitioning from slavery in Egypt to establishing their identity as a free nation. This period was marked by uncertainty, a lack of resources, and a population not yet united under a common governance or culture. The significance of analyzing the historical context lies in recognizing how these factors shaped Moses' strategies in guiding the Israelites through their pivotal journey to the Promised Land. It emphasizes his adaptability and capacity to lead amidst chaos. A specific example of Moses' leadership, impacted by historical context, is the crossing of the Red Sea. Faced with the Egyptian army's pursuit and the sea blocking their escape, Moses' decision to trust in divine intervention changed the course of history for the Israelites. Another example is his handling of the situation when the Israelites worshipped the golden calf during his absence. Despite the betrayal of their covenant with God, Moses' decision to intercede on their behalf and establish firm laws reflects his understanding of the need for establishing order and morality within the newly forming society. Supporters of examining Moses' historical context argue that it underscores the timelessness of effective leadership that adapts and responds proactively to evolving situations. However, there are challenges in interpreting his decisions, as some view them as overly reliant on divine guidance, questioning the applicability of Moses' leadership model in secular contexts. Others contend that his decisions, while effective, were at times autocratic, presenting an alternative viewpoint on leadership styles. The historical context of Moses' decisions is intricately linked to other aspects of his leadership, such as his ability to mediate between the divine and his people, and the creation of laws and social structures that have endured for millennia. By understanding the circumstances surrounding his decisions, one gains insight into the broader qualities of leadership during crises, such as resilience, morality, and the importance of vision in uniting and guiding a people through transformative periods. This understanding provides valuable lessons in leadership that remain relevant today. When examining the principles of decision-making in Exodus, we focus on the methods and motivations behind Moses' leadership choices during times of crisis. This aspect of Moses' leadership involves the strategic, faith-based, and ethical considerations that guided his direction of the Israelites through their journey from slavery in Egypt to the brink of the Promised Land. The principles derived from Exodus emphasize the importance of seeking divine guidance, employing prudent judgment, and prioritizing the welfare of the community. The significance of these principles is profound, as Moses' decisions often determined the survival and cohesion of the Israelite community. His leadership showcases how faith can integrate with practical governance, providing a model that transcends time and remains applicable in contemporary leadership scenarios. For instance, Moses' decision to obey God's command to confront Pharaoh, despite considerable personal and communal risk, highlights the courage needed when making decisions that may initially seem unpopular but ultimately serve a greater good. In practice, Moses' clarity in decision-making is exemplified through two pivotal moments in Exodus. Firstly, during the crossing of the Red Sea, Moses exhibited decisive leadership by following divine instructions, which led to a miraculous escape for the Israelites. This act underscores the principle of trusting in a higher wisdom when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. Secondly, Moses' choice to accept advice from Jethro to delegate responsibilities illustrates the importance of wise counsel and the implementation of sustainable governance structures within a leadership framework. Support for these principles often comes from faith-based perspectives that view Moses as a paradigm of divinely guided leadership. However, challenges arise in the form of potential over-reliance on divine intervention, which may conflict with secular viewpoints that prioritize empirical evidence and human reasoning. Critics might argue that such an approach could lead to inaction in cases where divine guidance seems absent. These principles of decision-making in Exodus are intricately connected to broader themes of Moses' leadership, such as trust-building and conflict resolution. Understanding Moses' approach to decision-making provides valuable insights into how leaders can navigate crises by balancing faith and practicality. It also suggests that effective leadership requires humility to seek counsel and the courage to make difficult decisions that prioritize the long-term well-being of the community. Overall, Moses' leadership in Exodus offers a timeless blueprint that continues to influence modern leadership paradigms. Moses' crisis leadership strategies refers to the specific approaches and methods Moses used to navigate and lead through situations of extreme difficulty and uncertainty. At its core, this concept highlights Moses as a figure who exemplified the capacity to make hard decisions and inspire his followers during periods when threats and challenges were most pronounced. This aspect of Moses' leadership is crucial as it underscores the versatility and resilience required of a leader in crisis, akin to modern-day leaders who face political, social, or economic upheavals. The significance of Moses' crisis leadership is profound as it illuminates timeless strategies such as effective communication, moral conviction, and adaptive problem-solving in the face of adversity. For instance, when the Israelites were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea, Moses demonstrated quick decision-making and faith, ultimately leading them to safety. This illustrates his ability to maintain composure and authority under pressure, managing not only logistical challenges, but the emotional highs and lows of his people. Another poignant example is when Moses received the Ten Commandments. Despite encountering dissent and faithlessness among the Israelites, he maintained steadfast dedication to the covenant, showcasing the importance of unwavering principles. His actions then serve as a reminder of how critical foundational beliefs and articulating a clear vision are in unifying and guiding a community through turbulent times. Supporters of Moses' crisis leadership often highlight his profound impact on strengthening the Israelites' identity and faith. His story offers valuable lessons for contemporary leaders about the enduring power of purpose-driven leadership, trust building, and the importance of resilience. However, potential challenges in interpreting Moses' strategies include skepticism regarding the applicability of ancient leadership lessons to modern contexts or disagreements on his decisions' morality from various cultural or ethical perspectives. Some might argue that certain actions were too authoritarian or question the feasibility of his methods in today's complex societal structures. Moses' crisis leadership strategies influence broader discussions on leadership by emphasizing the need for leaders to adapt while remaining anchored to their core values. This intersects with themes of moral leadership and ethical decision-making, highlighting how crisis situations often serve as litmus tests for a leader's true character. Such insights reinforce the importance of preparation, vision, and adaptability, forming an essential component of understanding effective leadership in crises.